Splatoon 2 added a brand new weapon class known as the Brellas. This class came with 3 new weapons, but today we are only going to be focusing on the Undercover Brella, or rather its downfall, in Splatoon 3. Hello everyone, this is Snoozefry, and today we will be diving into the many flaws of the Undercover Brella and potential solutions that can improve this weapon. I hope you enjoy. The Undercover Brella is a unique weapon. It fires a pellet of ink and has the signature Brella mechanic of opening a shield after the first shot is fired and the trigger is held down. Unlike the Splat Brella and Tenta Brella, this weapon is fully automatic, meaning that you can hold down the ZR trigger to continually fire shots. As well as this, the Brella doesn't detach and move forward as a shield like the others. Its canopy can take up to 200 damage and is quite small compared to the others. Moving on to its stats, the Undercover Brella consumes 4% of your ink tank for each shot fired. The shots can vary in damage from as low as 12. This means the weapon can splat opponents in 4 shots if every pellet hits the enemy. Furthermore, if you get up close with an opponent and your Brella shield touches them, they will take an additional 15 damage. To top it off, the Brella also fires at a reasonably fast pace, giving it a short kill time. For a main weapon, the Undercover isn't all that bad. However, it still has its downsides, like dealing low damage to objects and players, as well as the fact that it has a much worse shield compared to the other Brellas, not to mention a mediocre range. This is just the beginning of where it really gets ugly. And it gets worse in its kits. In Splatoon 2, this weapon was given the Ink Mine and Splashdown. The Ink Mine wasn't great for the weapon, since it didn't play as a backline, so there was no reason to leave mines if enemies weren't coming from behind or sneaking up. And Splashdown was a very vulnerable special that was easy to anticipate. This caused the Undercover Brella to be neglected until version 3.0.1, which introduced a variant that gave the Brella some hope. This new variant was called the Undercover Sorella Brella, and it was given Splat Bomb and Baller. Splat Bomb was great at moving and chipping opponents, while the Baller was a good get-in tool. Unfortunately, the main weapon doesn't do enough to defend the player once the special is over. A few months after this, version 4.2.0 was released. This variant for the game would come out as the Kensa Undercover Brella. This time, it came with Torpedo, which was an excellent well-rounded sub, packed with good damage and tracking abilities, and Ink Armor, which is arguably one of the best specials in the game, even to this day. Overall, Splatoon 2 had its ups and downs when it came to the Undercover Brellas and their kits. They only became viable weapons later in the game's lifespan. With Splatoon 3, this weapon is very similar to its Splatoon 2 counterpart, since it came with a similar kit and the main weapon still plays the exact same. As of the fresh season for 2023, the Undercover Brella only has its base variant, which has Ink Mine and Reef Slider. This version is very similar to Splatoon 2 and struggles again, since Ink Mine still doesn't work well for this weapon and Reef Slider is a 180p special. Reef Slider falls victim to the same issues as Splashdown in the sense that it is very vulnerable and easy to punish. This means that currently at the time of recording for this video, the Undercover Brella is one of, if not the worst, weapons in the game. But Not all hope is lost, since we have some kits that could possibly work well for this weapon in a future update. Here are some examples. The first kit would come with Burst Bomb and Wave Breaker. Burst Bomb would work wonders for this weapon and would open up some combo potential. As for the Wave Breaker, it would also combo quite well and is great for finding opponents who are sneaking around. The second kit wouldn't be nearly as impressive, but it would still be an improvement on the base kit. It would come with Torpedo and Killer Whale 5.1. The Torpedo was previously included with the Kensa Undercover, so part of the strategy in using this will be the same. Instead of ink armor, we would be getting the Killer Whale. It could deal extra damage to enemies and follow them around, possibly making it a 2-shot splat. I hope that something similar to one of these kits can make it into the game in a future update. It would make this weapon a much better option to play and allow players to use different playstyles depending on which kit they choose. Thank you all so much for watching. Also, a big thanks to Modded Inkling and other members of Inkopedia, as well as the people behind DaVinci Resolve for making this video possible. Tell me any other changes you would like to see in the comments. Bye!